Acknowledge me, the one.
Acknowledge me. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kick It Scoops. I'm your host, Scoops, the sole admin of Scoops. Valet Neil Danaher. Just as I hit recording, we've just found out the tragic news that Neil Danaher has passed away at the age of 65 after a long battle with MND. Rest in peace, Neil Danaher. He's an icon of AFL football, and everything he's done through the charity stuff and everything like that. Obviously, an AFL legend. Rest in peace, Neil Danaher. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kick It to Scoops. I'm your host, Scoops, the sole admin of Scoops. We've got a big show today. We've got Scoops Goes Bang, we've got Team of the Week, we've got Supercoach Talk, and we're going to review the round just gone and upcoming. So, the footy this weekend had some upsets, it had some records broken, it had close games, it had controversial endings in games like the North Melbourne and Melbourne games. There was ridiculous umpiring in the Saints game, favouring Freo, in the Gold Coast game in favour of Gold Coast, but North Melbourne Zurha free kick was there, like I've outlined in my post. Larkey took the advantage and he missed it, and then it was given back to Zurha. But Gold Coast got arrogant and choked, and they deserved to lose. Now, what I have to say on Scoops Goes Bang today is going to be must-watch footy. Or must-watch content. So, got a lot to go through. So, we'll start off with this. You want me on Cameo? Head to cameo.com/Cooper G. You want me to roast a friend, wish them happy birthday, anything at all. Cameo.com/Cooper G. And if you know any AFL, AFLW players or any state league players, and you want to see them on the channel in a Gold King Challenge and or interview, please do send me a message and we'll try and get something sorted. Now, go check out any of my recent Gold King challenges and interviews that are on the channel. If any of the players that I've had on recently, please go and check that out. Would really appreciate it. My match day vlogs, my wrestling vlog that I went to in Melbourne last week or the week before now, about a week ago now. So go and check that out. It's been out for about 4 days. My match day vlog from the Saints Richmond game and everything in between, all that, the interviews and Gold King challenges. With Mim Strom, the best player in the AFLW in the ruck, best ruck in the competition easily, and any other interviews I've posted throughout the last 4 years, really. So yeah, go and check that all out. Would really appreciate it. All right. It is now time for that world famous segment. Oh, it's world famous. Check the analytics. It Scoops Goes Bang. Wow. Kane Cornes, you talk shit, you get mentioned in this segment. It's plain and simple. Now, Kane Cornes and David King were on SEN. I think it was David King. Talking about St Kilda and Essendon's list. And Kane, again, talks complete and utter shit, utter nonsense. He continues to bag the Saints, and he's so butthurt that Sam Flanders and De Koning and that are on a lot of money and are performing really successful, something he couldn't do as a firefighter. Kane and successful don't go in hand. They just simply don't. They do not go hand in hand. Kane Cornes and successful doesn't work. He's been having to go at Damien Barrett. He's been having to go at other people throughout the whole year. And it shows how petty and clickbait type of person he truly is. Nathan Brown did not like him at the Sunday Footy Show. Damo doesn't. TJ doesn't. They're happy he's gone. And they're succeeding without Kane. Now, Kane, your take here on St Kilda and Essendon's list is just complete and utter shit. You tried to say how Essendon are deplorable and all this and that, and then try and say that our list isn't as good as Essendon's. You are complete and utter shit. We have one of, if not the best player in the competition in Nasiah Wangani Malira. What player at Essendon comes close to being the best in the competition? That's Zach Merritt, who doesn't even want to be there. You want to talk about young stars at the Saints. You wanted to mention Essendon players. You mentioned all these players, and you mentioned like their recruits like Gresham and Mackay and players like that and Setterfield and whatever. You want to say that they weren't good, but then still in the same sentences try saying they're better than St Kilda. You're a complete and utter clown. Clown should be your middle name. Kane Cornes. Seriously, you're the third best Cornes in the football family. Simple as that. Chad was better and Graham was better. Now, however, so you want to think that Essendon's list is better than St Kilda. So who's the good players at Essendon? I haven't even bothered to write names down for either club because there's just no point, Kane. Essendon's best players are who? Besides Zach Merritt and Archie Roberts, who are their good players? If you think Essendon's list is better than St Kilda, which you clearly think that, you are a complete and utter idiot. There's no other way to twist it, Kane. At St Kilda, they got so much talent all over the board. Essendon have basically no one. You got Merritt, Roberts, Dyson Sharp, Nate Caddy to a degree, and maybe Sullivan Roby over time, and that's it. St Kilda have Nasiah Wangani Malira. We have Mateus Filippo. We have Max Hall, Darcy Wilson, Jack Sinclair, Callum Wilkie, Max King, Tom De Koning, Rowan Marshall, Liam Ryan, Jack Higgins. The list can go on and on and on. Jack Sinclair, Callum Wilkie, Max King, Mateus Filippo, Darcy Wilson, Max Hall, Hugo Garcia. You know, we have talent all over the board. Toby Travaglia, Alex Taru. There's talent all over the board. And a lot of those names I just mentioned for St Kilda, and there's others I would have forgotten about, a lot of those are under the age of 23, between that 18 and 23 bracket. Who do Essendon have outside of the names I mentioned? Absolutely no one. Now, I'm sure I missed one particular name. But my point that I'm trying to bring up here at Kane is that you're an idiot, number one. And number two, St Kilda shits all over Essendon's lists. Essendon can't make finals, let alone win a final. St Kilda made finals more recently than Essendon. They won a final more recently than Essendon in 2020 or 2021, whatever year that was in COVID times. Played in a final series against the Giants in 2023. We got talent all over the board. And that's why we're competing for a top 10 spot, where Essendon are going to finish last. If not last, second last. If not second last, third last. If not third last, fourth last. Because they're going to be bottom four because they're terrible. They are shit. Brad Scott's about to get the ass. Just like Michael Voss did. So, Kane, you want to continue to talk complete and utter shit. If you seriously believe what you're saying, that Essendon, in your eyes, is a better list than St Kilda, you've got zero ball knowledge. Well, I don't even need to think. We all know you talk complete and utter shit. You're so butthurt that St Kilda is better than your banter club, Port Adelaide, who just got embarrassed again by Carlton. Worry about Josh Carr and maybe think, shit, maybe he was pulling the strings last year with Ken and he's not the right guy for the club. Zach Butters watches that performance and he goes, fuck, we are that bad. I am out of here. If I wasn't out already, I'm definitely out now. His 150th game was embarrassed by that shit performance from Port Adelaide against Carlton, who played a four-quarter performance. Carlton and four quarters don't go hand in hand, Kane, this year. Worry about your own shit banter club. Worry about Georgiades, who's going to leave in a year's time, if not this year. Butters is going to go this year. Who are you going to have left? Connor Rosie, and that's it. And who's to say he doesn't want to piss off in the next 2 years as well? Come back home, Connor Rosie, to the Saints, your club you grew up supporting. Happy to have you, mate. Kane, your takes in general are dog shit. And the fact that you tried to justify Essendon's list being better than St Kilda, and then in the same sentences couldn't even name many names for Essendon, and you didn't even mention any St Kilda's talent like Naz and Sinclair and Max Hall and Hugo Garcia and Mateus Filippo, Alex Taru, Toby Travaglia, Max King, Jack Higgins, all the names I just mentioned before and more. You couldn't even mention 10 names at Essendon. So, shut your mouth. Now, Gold Coast and Mr. Larkey playing on advantage. Gold Coast choked a 38-point lead at halftime and embarrassed the shit out of themselves. They got arrogant and cocky, and they deserved to lose. Now, here's what I'll say to this. North Melbourne were screwed over by umpiring a lot in this game. Maybe people need an education. On my post, I made it abundantly clear that Gold Coast choked, which they did. They had a 38-point lead at halftime, which they did. They got arrogant, which clearly they did because they looked so disinterested and thought they had it done. And they got a reality check, the Gold Coast Suns. The Nepo babies got a reality check, and they probably got a free academy selection from the AFL after this choke. Dim, are you mad, bro? Another Marvel choke for a side you coach or a loss. Laughable. Now, they got arrogant, they got complacent, the Gold Coast Suns. People want to bring up Brisbane's pathetic third quarter, which that was pathetic. That in third quarter history, 14 goals conceded. But I could argue this was almost as bad as Brisbane's overall performance, considering Gold Coast thought they had it done. They didn't give a shit. At least Brisbane in the last quarter kicked like 5 goals and played the game out. Gold Coast couldn't give a shit. They thought they had this done. And the reason why I bring this up is because Larkey, Zurhaar got the free, which was there. Okay, educate yourself, people that thought I was having to go with that decision. I wasn't. Get an education. You need one. It wasn't that. It was simply that when Zurhaar got the free, Larkey took the advantage, kicked the ball, didn't score from it. I'm saying the umpire should have called play on. You cannot take an advantage, whether they call it advantage or not, and then miss it, and then the umpire feels sorry for them and goes, oh, no, we're bringing it back to Zurhaar. Because I guarantee if Larkey kicked that goal, they would have counted it. So if you're going to count it for a goal, how about you don't do it at all? It was play on, and it's play on. He stuffed the kick up, stiff shit. Blame Larkey for taking it on. That's what's controversial. You need an education if you thought I was saying that Gold Coast were robbed from umpiring in general. I was saying that Larkey advantage that wasn't given advantage should have been paid as an advantage, and he stuffed it up. That's not Gold Coast's problem. But however, Gold Coast were arrogant as hell in the second half. They got protected severely throughout this game, so they deserved to choke and deserved to not have that in their favour. But Gold Coast, I've been giving them faith up until about that Melbourne loss. I'm like, it's one-off, blah, blah, blah. But they've been a bit complacent and arrogant lately. And they were lucky to beat St Kilda if it wasn't for match fixing in umpiring protecting them. They stuffed it up here because they got too arrogant and complacent. And the Port game, they're lucky Port didn't come back because they got arrogant and complacent there. But Port are so shit that they couldn't come back. And they're lucky. But North were better than Port Adelaide. And they got the comeback. Gold Coast and complacency. I don't want to hear nothing about the Darwin bullshit. Oh, it's a toll on them, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. St Kilda came back from Darwin and won against Richmond. I don't give a shit it was Richmond. We came back from Darwin and won easily. Port Adelaide shit this week just because they're shit. They played shit and lost to shit. And they are shit. Kane Cornes talks shit and talks shit because he talks shit. And now, Gold Coast are not good right now. They're in terrible form. They got arrogant. They got complacent. At their best, they're very good. But their arrogant side of them, they are completely overrated. They'll play finals. There's no doubt about it. But this complacency, Dimmer has got to be mad, bro. If you know what that means. Go and flashback from 2023 days, if not before that. Dimmer, you mad, bro, that your side is so not good at all. Complacent. Just relax, North fans. I was just saying that the Zurhaar advantage should have been paid as an advantage because Larkey took it, kicked it, and stuffed it up. There's no sympathy rule. But they did this in the Saints-Freo game where Dudley took an advantage, bombed the ball in the air, and then he said, oh, no, I don't want that advantage. Put his hand up saying, no. And then the umpire blew the whistle and said, oh, yeah, we'll bring it back. Shouldn't even have been a free kick, by the way. And then the ball rolled because the Saints players and the Freo players all stopped. Then it rolled through the goal. Then the umpire changed, oh, no, it counts now. That is complete bullshit. Brad Hill got tripped. No free kick. Freo got a goal from that trip. And we were open. We would have scored from that. And instead, they did. Patrick Voss, free on Silvani, was not there. Silvani got screwed over by Patrick Voss's bullshit tactics with Wilkie as well. Patrick Voss did not earn any of his goals at all. And there was plenty of holding the ball decisions not paid in the Saints' favour. 3 or 4 of Fremantle's goals led from free kicks, and we got nothing. And I guarantee you all those free kicks they got from goals were not there. And some of the ones I've just mentioned. So, umpiring as a whole this round, this is a segue to this, is complete dog shit this round. The North game, they were shit. The Saints game, they were bullshit. In the Melbourne game, they were shit. In the West Coast Collingwood game, they were absolutely shit. Dacos fell to the ground too easily and they got a free. Penbury was out of bounds. Like, the umpiring this round is complete dog shit. Advantage means advantage. You don't give someone advantage and then decide to bring the ball back. That's bullshit. Learn how to umpire umpires. Get an education. Out of bounds is out of bounds. Holding the ball is holding the ball. Holding the ball is when you don't dispose of the ball correctly. And this sympathy rule, that seems to be a rule that's not a rule, that they act like a rule, is bullshit. Get rid of it. The umpires are so shit that they don't even know how to do their own job. If you didn't know how to do your job, you'd be out of the job. But it seems to me these umpires don't know how to umpire each and every bloody week, and they're still getting paid handsomely and are still getting picked every week. Learn how to umpire or get out. Simple as that. Pathetic. Lift your game. Every single one of you that just got roasted. Hope you all enjoyed that edition of the world famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang. All right, now it's time to go through my Scoops round 11 AFL Team of the Week. From the back line, the pockets, Tom McCarthy. And Josh Worrell. Fullback, James Borlase. Back line, the flankers, Jack Sinclair. And Riley Bice. Centre half back. What a season he's having, Jaden Laverde. Wingers, Clayton Oliver and Matt Rowell. Centreman, Lockie Neal. Half forward line, the flankers, Max. Top 50 man Hall. Toby Green. Jake Stringer. Phoenix Gothard. Blake Hardwick. It's an Amati party. It's Joel Amati. What a game from Joel Amati. Kicked 4. The ruck, West Coasters, Bailey Williams. Rovers, N. Dacos and Zach Merritt. The interchange, Luke Davies, Uniac, Elliot, Harry Sheasel, Harry. Patrick Retchko and Darcy Parish. The emergencies, Brennan Cox, Wayne Malira, Jarman Impey, Archie Roberts, Murphy Reed, Max Holmes, Archie May, Tim Taranto, and Lawson Humphreys. Now, the the team on the screen for you all to see. Now, Patrick Retchko from Richmond, who was listed by Geelong after 1 year, picked 99 or something. Richmond traded for him, which is pretty funny. 27 disposals, he did really well. So, for weeks I've had him in the conversation in those 20-plus disposal games. I've had him in emergency maybe once or twice. I've heavily considered him about 3 times. And this time I'm like, no, he's definitely going in. He absolutely deserved a spot. But now the rest. Tom McCarthy, 30 disposals, a lot of score involvements and intercept possessions. I think it was 9 intercepts as well. Good meters gained, and he was good for the Eagles with 30 disposals. Josh Roll had 28 disposals, about 12 intercepts. Just intercept marks as well. Josh Roll played really well against Hawthorn. James Borlase had 14 intercept possessions with about 14 disposals, so he did really good. 1%, as well. That's what I mean for Borlase. He gets a lot of 1%ers each week. I've thought about him a few times as well this year. But this is the week he makes it. Jack Sinclair, 29 disposals, about 4 clearances, playing off half back. His efficiency is really well. He had 2 goal assists, had 6 score involvements. He deserved a spot at the team of the week. Jaden Laverde, I can't remember his numbers, but he took a lot of contested marks. Had about 20 touches, I think. Yeah, it was about 20 touches. So he did really well and deserved it. Riley Bice got over 30 disposals off the halfback for the Swans. His drive of halfback is really good, showing the form that Riley Bice did when he first joined Sydney from Werribee. Clayton Oliver, about 37 disposals, about 10 clearances or so, deserved a spot. Lockie Neal, a goal in 32. Lots of contested possessions, higher efficiency, and about 10 clearances. Lockie deserved a spot on the team, despite his team being garbage in the third quarter. Matt Rao, very similar to Lockie. He played very well. His team did not, but he did well. About a goal and 32 touches and a lot of contested possessions and clearances like Matt Rao always does. Max Hall, 2 goals, 25 disposals, 9 clearances, like 10 score involvements. Max Hall was awesome in the midfield for the Saints, 2 goals and 25 touches. Jake Stringer, the package, kicked 5 goals. Toby Green kicked 5 goals. Sorry, Jake Stringer kicked 4 goals, 4. Jake got 4. Toby got 5, Toby Green. Him and Stringer in the third quarter with Laverde and Callahan just stole the show. And Gothard, speaking of Phoenix, Gothard, 2 goals, 29 disposals for a small forward who pushed up the ground high half forward. Absolutely deserved a spot in the team of the week. Joel Amadi kicked 4, as I mentioned before. Blake Hardwick kicked 4. He was really good. I like Blake Hardwick up forward, and I think structurally he probably looks better in the forward line. They need Jack Gunson back against the Saints, but hopefully not. Bailey Williams, he was awesome. I'm going to read you Bailey Williams' stats because he's a guy who cops a lot of shit for no reason. He's been injured this year. People needed an education on Bailey Williams. He's been injured, came back through the waffle, and came in and dominated Darcy Cameron. Darcy Cameron was not considered. He had 28 disposals, but 61%. And Bailey Williams was far better. So Bailey Williams kicked 1 goal, 20 disposals. Okay. 18 of those 20 disposals were contested. Kicked a goal. 1 goal, 1. He had 2 goal assists, 6 score involvements, 3 contested marks, 12 clearances, and 5 of those centre clearances. And he had 4 inside 50s as well, and 5 1%ers and 3 tackles. So Bailey Williams potentially maybe getting 3 votes in my Scoops medal for that game. I haven't decided officially yet, but he's in contention for sure. And Dacos, 2 goals and 34 touches. I mean, do I need to explain myself anymore? 3 goals, 2, 34 disposals, 1 goal assist, 14 score involvements, 7 clearances. So there's your answer right there. Zach Merritt was really good with a goal in 34, I think it was, or 32. He was really good. Luke Davis-Uniacke, a goal in 30, had about 9 clearances. Same with Harry Sheasel, and that's why they both made the team. Sheasel didn't get a goal, though. Elliot Yoki, 3 goals and 16 touches, playing mainly up forward. I thought he was really impactful and deserved a spot in the team. Would have been on the field had it not been for Green and Stringer and Gothard to do what they did, especially in that third quarter. I mentioned Patrick Reshko already. He was great. Darcy Parish, who got the medal for best on ground. He was good. He only just made it for me. He was really good, though, with 41 touches. He went at 81% disposal efficiency, which is really good. 16 contested possessions, 9 score involvements, and 9 clearances. I mean, on reflection, actually, he absolutely did deserve a spot there. I don't know why people got so worked up with him winning the medal, actually, now that I think about it. See, I fell into what people were saying about Darcy Parish and not winning the medal and shouldn't have won it. He did really well. On reflection, I may have put him on the field for Neil, and Neil would have gone to the bench, or Raul, but that's okay. He's in the team anyway, so it doesn't matter where you're named on the team. As long as you're in the team, it doesn't really matter. Brennan Cox was pissing me off against St Kilda, but we were kicking a long bomb with an undersized forward line, so he was considered. Borlase beat him out for the spot. Wayne Miller was good off halfback, so was Impey, so was Roberts. Reid was good, but the other players in the team were better. Max Holmes, again, similar. Riley Bice and Jack Sinclair were better. Same for Lawson Humphreys. Archie May was an ex-key forward chosen, and Taranto was in that next crop of midfielders to be chosen. So comment down below what you think on my Scoops round 11 team of the week. Now it's time to go through my super coach. So I scored 2,254. I'm now in the top 20%. I went up 1% in the rankings. I'm pissed off because Lockie Whitfield was a laid out with hamstring awareness. Now, it is top 18 for the next 4 to 5 weeks of the stupid buy round bullshit. So adjust to your team accordingly. Whitfield was a laid out. So I got Harry Edwards. Not Harry Edwards. Will Edwards is 54, whatever it was. So there's 2 rookies you must get this round, no matter what. Find a way to do it, because I haven't done the trades yet officially. And even if I did, I wouldn't be showing you the trades I've done. But this is the team I had. So let's get that banner off. So Archie Roberts got 85 for 33 disposals, so that was bullshit. Lockie Whitfield was obviously laid out. I got Will Edwards as 54. I lost 70-odd points there, so it's definitely should over 2,300 this week. Sinclair 114, very, very good. Josh Worrell 134, amazing. Josh Lindsay 55, bit of whatever. Jack Carroll got 35. Of course, every time I feel Jack Carroll, he scores bad. Maybe I have to put Will Edwards or Dirksen on this week just to, for that reason, if I don't trade him. His break game is not the worst, though, still. Zach Butters, 103. Sorry, Dirksen, who I traded in for Tom Myers, he got 67. Awesome. Had to bring him in. If you didn't bring him in, you don't know Supercoach or footy. So simple as that, to be honest. Then who else? Heaney got 105, whatever. Butters 103, whatever. Will Edwards got robbed at 54. That should have been 80. Absolute bullshit. He had like 17 disposals and 9 intercepts and like 5 1%ers. Absolutely stuffed over by the rigged Supercoach system. Zach Merritt at 126. He was my loophole captain. That's what Finn McRae is a captain for. Milan Murdoch at 94, which is awesome for a rookie. Lockie Neal 114, he was great. And Dacos 124 was great. Patrick Reshko 107, awesome. Sam Cumming, like I kept him this week, he got 72. I may not keep him this week, but I'll have to wait and see. Elijah Sardis should come in because Brad Sweat doesn't know what he's doing, and Setterfield and he were kept out of the VFL. Murdoch got 94, and obviously Angus Anson was somehow dropped. Come on, Craig. You got to bring him back. I can't believe you dropped him. That pissed me off as his break even was like 4. Brody Grundy at 95. He's one of his worst games for the year, Supercoach for sure. But you can have an off week. Brody Grundy still the All-Australian lock. Luke Jackson got 119. He got, sorry there. He got 119, but I didn't think he'd done well to even get that. Lockie McAndrew dominated in the first half, had like 60 at half time, and then finishes on 75. Not happy, still making money, but he's got the week off, which is pissing me off. Sheasel 125, very good. Petrarca 118, good. Sam Flanders are good again, 111. Zach Bailey 86, not happy with that. Rochelle 41, absolutely dog shit. How he's not playing midfield with players out in and out every week is pathetic. Lombard 58, whatever, was on 50 at half time, so that pissed me off. Liam Henry 31, not happy with that. Dobson is a hack and didn't play. And my man Mateus Olaball, the Filippo train, got 88. Absolutely awesome. If you're going to plan to keep Filippo in your forward line, you might as well just keep him, to be honest. He's averaging probably in that 80 range the last few weeks. So what other forwards that I don't have already are averaging over 80 consistently and are worth a big price jump like Pickett and that? No, not worth it. So I'm really happy with that. Comment down below what you're thinking of your Supercoach and everything like that. I'm pretty content, to be honest, with that team. So comment down below what you think and how you're going. My Scoops fan club league, look, some people are doing well. I know Shane from the live stream isn't doing too well, so sucks for you, Shane, I guess. Dropped out of the top 10, I reckon. I'm going to have a quick look, actually, because I didn't get to do it last week, but quickly got to have a look now. I'm 58 in my fan club, which I'm not happy with. We've got Michael on top, which is Vic Park. We've got Robbo, which is Adam, in second. We've got Collingwood FC, Chris in third. Fourth is Philip, Evil, and then Dave in fifth for Mount Dunedin. Shane is 14th. Ouch. Not good for you, Shane. Unbelievable. Right. Let's review the round 11 game, shall we? So Hawthorn Adelaide, why games are in Tasmania? I'd love to know the answer to this. Who wants to watch football in Tassie, let alone on a Thursday night? Hawthorn 75, Adelaide 66, Hawthorn by 9. Adelaide win this. They had their chances. Rankin went off of a calf injury. They had another injury. I can't remember. Oh, yeah, Calamachi. Didn't help. Rankin was going all right. Jordan Dawson played well. Worrell was awesome and was their best player. Blake Hardwick played well. Will Daly play AFL this week against the Saints? Hopefully not. Hopefully he's another week off. Hawthorn, close game. They're lucky they got the win in away because I thought Adelaide were better. But here we are. Richmond 74, Essendon 56. Richmond by 18 points. Richmond got 2 wins for the season. They played well. Rechko, Sam Cumming, Tim Taranto were really good. They had a lot of injuries in this game for both sides. You know, credit to Essendon with Durham and Caldwell playing injured, and Tom Lynch got injured as well with a larynx injury and went and played the whole game. There was other injuries for Essendon. Matt Guelphy done his hamstring. Andrew McGrath broke his jaw. So wish all those guys all the best. Jonty Fawley concussion. Tom Sims got injured in the VFL. Don't know how bad that is for him. He was just coming back, which is terrible news for him. Hopefully he's all good. So a lot of injuries coming out of their VFL game and AFL game. Setterfield and Elijah Sardis got taken out of the VFL because of all these carnage injuries. So hopefully Elijah Sardis is back, Brad, if you're still the coach by that game. But yeah, look, two bottom sides. Richmond got the win, so they'll be happy with all the injuries they've got, but so do Essendon as well. And Essendon lost a lot of injuries and important players like McGrath mid-game as well. So, and Caldwell played injured just because of the rotation. So not much to add to this game because there was nothing special. St Kilda played really well against Fremantle, but again, last quarter was disappointing, 104-74 by 30 points. Watched the game, St Kilda were good. Dudley goal, the Brad Hill trip, swing of momentum went on Freo side from the umpiring and everything in between. I was really happy with Max Hall's performance and Jack Sinclair and Sam Flanders. De dominated Jackson to start with. Then it was relatively even from then on. So it is what it is there. But we had no forwards. Caminiti went in the back line when Dougal Howard done his calf in the third quarter at the start. And that changed the momentum of the game also. We're already undersized in our forward line. Caminiti went in the back line. Howard was doing pretty well in the back line. And structurally helps Wilkie and Silvani better. Caminiti had to play there, which isn't ideal because he shouldn't even be in the team. Our forward line, we're missing our best five forwards. We've got King, Ryan, Higgins, Owens, Butler. Five of our starting six forwards with Sharman already in the team. Sharman looks better with Owens there. Looks like he's got a lot of pressure on his own. But yeah, disappointing we got the loss. But yeah, we deserve to win, and umpiring, of course, ruined that. North Melbourne 111, Gold Coast 105. Credit to the Roos for fighting back. I mentioned this earlier, so I'm not going to repeat myself. But Gold Coast pretenders at the moment. I stood up for them against Melbourne, said it was a one-off, and they're just bang shit average at the moment. North Melbourne went under Sheasel and LDU and everyone that played well. Finn O'Sullivan and everyone like that. Geelong 107, Sydney 80, Geelong by 27. Look, Geelong fans, you got the win, but you're playing at home. You're severely protected. Sydney have a few injuries like Gordon and all that. And they're allowed to have a bad result. They were still in this contest throughout the whole game. So, yeah, Holmes and Humphries were Geelong's best players. And Sydney, well, maybe Peter Laddams gets a game this week. Maybe. They play in Richmond, so they might play he and Grundy together. Grundy might get managed, but God to hope not. But we'll see. It's a one-off for Sydney, so calm down. People saying their premiership tilt is over because it's not. Collingwood 92-82 to the Eagles. Well done to the Eagles. We've been very competitive. Elliot Yeo, Willem Dersma, Tim Kelly, Tom McCarthy, Job Shanahan late. They fought to the end, the Suns, the Eagles. So you got to. Well, the Suns did not fight to the end at all. They were dog shit and choked and were arrogant as fuck. But yeah, well done to the Eagles for fighting it through. They had 93,000 at this game for the Scott Pendlebury 433 record-breaking AFL history game. So well done Pendles again on a great milestone. He had 22 disposals in the record-breaking game. And Dacos was great for the Pies. We wish Jamie Elliott all the best as he unfortunately has an ACL injury and it's going to be a big blow for the Pies. We wish Jamie all the best. So that incident with Tyler Young, I don't know if more's going to come out with this, but the reaction that he was getting looked interesting, but we don't know if he said anything, so you can't really add anything more to that. Now, Collingwood will be happy they got the win for Pendles, but it wasn't a convincing win at all. West Coast did have a few decisions go against them. It was a good game, and well done for Pendles getting that win because he deserved it. Quayle 58, Carlton 92, 34 points to the Blues. Win again under Josh Fraser. Good for them. But poor to shit. Zach Butters was okay in his milestone game, and Josh Lai had some moments. But Georgiades kicked a goal, I think. But overall, Quayle was shit. For Carlton, it was Cripps. It was Hewitt. And plays like that. Matt Carroll, unfortunately, done his ACL, who's been a good find for them this year after being delisted and relisted in the pre-season, so we wish Matt Carroll all the best. I thought he was going to win their best and fairest if he played the whole year like how he was going, but now, unfortunately, he will not. But I think he'll be leading after 11 rounds, at least the first 10 prior to this week. So we wish Matt Carroll all the best. But they got the job done, and Port Adelaide, Jesus, what a banter club they really are. And the 2 games on Sunday, GWS 166 to Brisbane 88. GWS by 78 points. This was 6 points at halftime. 14 goals in the third quarter. Now, one thing I've seen is so-called expert media and fans, experts, more like idiots, writing Brisbane off. David King, I don't mind some of the stuff he says, but on First Crack last night, he was saying Brisbane's premiership drought, premiership fight for a third flag in a row is over. He then went even one step dumber and then said they're battling for wild card at best, implying top 6 to 10 range. Bullshit. Gee, people love overreacting. It was one bad quarter, extremely bad quarter. I understand that. But it's one quarter. They fought back in the last quarter, kicked like 5 goals to 3. So the effort was there, unlike Gold Coast. That third quarter was deplorable, one of the worst quarters ever. The third quarter, that's the highest score in a third quarter ever, 14 goals. It was like 80 points overall, something like that. But people need to calm the hell down. The Giants were phenomenal. Gothard, Stringer, Toby Green, Finn Callahan, the whole team, Kieran Briggs, were all great. But calm down over this performance, people. Like, it's one bad quarter for Brisbane. One bad quarter, and you're writing off the back-to-back premiers. I ain't writing them off at all. If you're writing Brisbane off one bloody quarter, then you're delusional. Talk about clickbait. I've seen these other so-called experts, not just David King, say that it's over. Brisbane aren't going to be good. They'll be likely to make a wild card. I don't know what other unintelligent so-called expert media on a big platform were writing them off. Like, seriously, if you're writing Brisbane off, you're an idiot. Once if they beat Freo this week at the Gabba, you'll be back, and I'll be like, if I was Brisbane, nah, we don't want you back. You just wrote us off last week. Overreacting. That's what a lot of people do these days. Overreacting. And that's what people are doing to this Brisbane scenario. I'm not writing them off at all. They'll probably come out this week and beat Freo, and I'll be tipping them to beat Fremantle, and they'll bounce back. Freo have got lucky, so their losses, their lucky wins are going to stop eventually, and Brisbane are going to win this week at the Gabba. So, yeah, Bulldogs 93. I mentioned all the Giants players that did well. Laverde, Gothard, Stringer, Toby Green, Finn Callahan, Kieran Briggs, Phoenix Gothard. I mentioned them all before. Brisbane, Lockie Neal was their best player. And that's it, really. Tom Doedee should get a game for Brisbane. Make his long-awaited debut for them after 2 years of knee injuries since joining them from Adelaide. Bring Tommy Doedee in. It'd be great to see. A big story that would be. I think this is his chance to get a game, and should have got a game since he's been back from VFL from injury through the VFL last 7 games. So bring him in now. Needs support. Harris Andrews down the back line would free up his role a bit more, and Tommy plays an intercept defender role as well. Pretty good. Western Bulldogs 93, Melbourne 90, Bulldogs by 3 points. Gee, talk about severely protected where the were Bulldogs, but that's normal. And it shouldn't be normal, but it's normal. The Bullies got protected. Bullies bully, and they get protected by the AFL. Pathetic. Harvey Langford, though, costly drop late. Was that a free kick? You tell me. Harvey Langford, though, cost Melbourne an opportunity to win that game, and Bulldogs escape with a lucky fluke win. There's no other way to say it. They got the job done. Ed Richards was one of their better players, and Will Lewis, I thought, had a good game as well. So now we're going to quickly go through my tips for round 12 to wrap us up. So, remember cameo.com/CooperG in the top left-hand corner for that Cameo link. Any birthday messages, roast a friend, and everything in between all that. All right, let's preview round 12. This is the bye round bullshit start. So Adelaide, Port Adelaide, North Melbourne, and Gold Coast do not play this week. So Thursday night at Marvel Stadium is my Saints hosting Hawthorn, 7:30 Victorian time. I'll be tipping St Kilda in this one by 1 point. Friday night at the MCG, Carlton and Geelong, 7:40 Victorian time. I'll be tipping Geelong, unfortunately, in this one by 40 points. Saturday, 1:15 at the SCG. It's Sydney and Richmond. I'll be tipping Sydney by 65 points. Brisbane and Fremantle at the Gabba, 4:15 p.m. on Saturday. I'll be tipping Brisbane this one by 20 points. Western Bulldogs and Collingwood at Marvel, 7:35 p.m. on Saturday night. I'll be tipping Collingwood in this one by 7 points. Sunday in Alice Springs at TIO Traeger Park in Alice Springs, 3:15 p.m. on Sunday. It is Melbourne and GWS. I'll be tipping GWS in this one by 1 point. The last game to end round 12, 7:20 p.m. Sunday night, Victorian time at Optus Stadium. It's West Coast and the Bombers. I'll be tipping Essendon to lose to West Coast. I'll be tipping West Coast in this one by 17 points. They can bounce back again this week, the Eagles. Go the Saints, upset the Hawks, and keep the arrogant club down the ladder because they're a banter club. Go Saints and all aboard the Filippo train.